Possibility for an arrest.
From symbolic tents
Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry!
Palestine will never die!
to full encampments.
Camping can be a form of protest, but like all forms of speech or protests would be subject to reasonable time, manner, and place of regulation.
A bill aimed at cracking down on camping at the state capitol is now headed to the governor's desk.
What we are doing is preventing our public plazas from becoming long-term residential areas, which creates significant safety, sanitation, and accessibility concerns for the public.
With House Bill 603, people wouldn't be allowed to set up any type of tent or enclosed shelter on state property-owned land, like the Capitol or the courthouse, from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m.
603 builds on the work of previous legislation to ensure that the Capitol and other key state properties are protected from the risks of unregulated camping.
It also defines what camping is in Idaho law. Camping is to, quote, erect tents or other enclosed structures on state-owned or leased property, according to the bill.
If you're setting up camping with sleeping equipment and a cook stove, that's not allowed.
The bill's sponsor tells KTVB this isn't aimed at a particular group, but rather any protesters who have overstayed their welcome on Capitol grounds.
We had legislators that were being harassed as well as the public. And we had people coming over and using our bathrooms in the Capitol for washing and brushing their teeth. There was damage that was done to the lawn and to the shrubbery and the trees that were there.
In 2022, the state filed a lawsuit against a group of protesters that were part of the Boise Mutual Aid Group. They camped at the Capitol to raise awareness for a lack of affordable housing in Boise. During that time, the governor wrote, "We are not Portland, Seattle, or San Francisco."
The pictures you see there are graphic and are offensive to be on the Capitol Mall.
But some lawmakers say this bill is a violation of their First Amendment.
This is a people's house, and I think the people ought to be able to exercise their free speech in whatever manner they want, as long as they're not harming or threatening other people.
And others worry it just needs to be reworked to specify exactly what type of camping is prohibited.
I'm not convinced by any stretch that we've reached the right balance here. I think we're going to end up being sued again because we haven't hit the right balance.
The bill passed with 28 in favor, and it now heads to the governor's desk.
We're not interested in silencing speech. In fact, we've included specific protections for side-free canopies so protesters can stay dry during rain or snow.
Lawmakers say that this bill is really aimed at protecting the Capitol grounds and protecting what taxpayers are paying for. They say that this bill will be helpful in making sure that there's also no criminal activity here at the Capitol. Justin, back to you.
Abby, thank you.